Hey everyone, welcome. Today, we're going to build a toolkit. Seriously, it's a toolkit for handling those really tough conversations. With friends, family, maybe even in a group project. These are the moments that can either break a connection or, believe it or not, make it stronger than ever. So let's dive in.
Oof, yeah, we've all heard this one, right? Maybe someone said it to us, maybe we've even said it ourselves. This little phrase, it's a total conversation killer. But why? What makes it so bad? Well, it instantly dismisses the other person's feelings. It's like saying, your emotions are wrong. And just like that, the door to understanding slams shut before the conversation can even get started.
And this really gets to the heart of it. Here's the big secret. Conflict is normal. Misunderstandings, arguments, they are going to happen in every single relationship, no exceptions. A fight doesn't mean a friendship is doomed. The real test, the thing that shows true strength, is what you do after. It is all about the repair. And today, we are stocking our toolkits with the exact strategies to do just that.
Okay, first things first. Before we can fix anything, we have to really understand what's broken. So let's take a closer look at what a classic communication breakdown actually looks and sounds like in the wild.
Let's break this down. Taylor brings up the project, and Jordan just snaps. Then Taylor fires back. Whatever, it's not my fault you're so controlling about everything. See what's going on here? Jordan starts with blame. And what does Taylor do? Immediately gets defensive and launches a counterattack. Nobody is trying to understand the other person. They're just reacting, talking at each other. This is a perfect snapshot of a breakdown.
So let's put a name to it. A communication breakdown is basically a failure to exchange information in a way that actually works. The real problem, like we saw with Jordan and Taylor, is that it's a direct path to misunderstanding and conflict, all because the focus isn't on understanding, it's on winning. All right, let's grab our first tool. We've seen the problem, so now it's time to get into the solutions. And the very first step, the absolute foundation for repairing any relationship, is learning how to truly, genuinely listen. I absolutely love this analogy. Think about it. You're a mirror. Is it a mirror's job to judge the reflection, or fix it, or tell it it's overreacting? Nope. Your only job is to reflect back as clearly as possible what you see. When you do that for someone, when you reflect their words and feelings, you make them feel seen. You make them feel heard. And that is a huge first step toward fixing just about any conflict. Looking at this list, you can see that active listening is kind of like a full-body sport. It's not passive. It's putting your phone down, making eye contact, nodding, not cutting them off, and then, and this is the game changer, paraphrasing. That just means saying back what you heard in your own words to check if you got it right. It's a real skill, and just like any other skill, it takes practice.
Okay, let's try it out. Someone says this to you. Now, your gut reaction might be to jump in and solve it, right? To say, oh, that's not true, or I'll talk to them for you. But an active listener, a mirror, does something different. A really great response would be something like, it sounds like you're feeling really frustrated and pretty much invisible because it feels like your ideas aren't being heard by the group. See the difference? You didn't solve it. You just showed them you heard them. That's the magic.
Let's grab our next tool. You'll see how these start to build on each other. So once you've listened and the other person really feels heard, it's your turn to talk. But how you say what you need to say, well, it changes everything. We need a way to share our side without making the other person immediately throw their walls back up.
This slide right here is so important. A you statement, like you're always late, is like pointing a finger directly in someone's face. And what's our natural reaction when someone points a finger at us? We get defensive, right? But an I statement, that's like putting a hand on your own heart. You're just sharing your experience. Saying, I feel frustrated when I have to wait, that's not an attack. It's an invitation for them to understand how you feel. And the best part? There is literally a formula for this. This is a practical tool you can start using like today. It's so simple. I feel, just name the emotion, when describe the specific thing that happened, no exaggeration, no judgment. Because, explain how it actually affects you. This little structure is your secret weapon for a constructive conversation. So, let's try transforming this classic you statement. First, the feeling. I feel frustrated. Okay. Next, the specific situation. When I share an idea and we move on without discussing it. And finally, the impact on you. Because it makes me feel like my contributions aren't valued. Put it all together, I feel frustrated when my ideas aren't discussed because it makes me feel like my contributions aren't valued. Wow, doesn't that sound completely different? It opens a door instead of building a wall.
Okay, we've listened, we've spoken our truth constructively. Now for the final, and maybe the most powerful, tool in our entire kit, taking accountability. This is how we actually pave the road to repair.
We've all gotten a bad apology before, right? The "I'm sorry you feel that way," or the "sorry but." A meaningful apology is something else entirely. It's not a magic trick to make the fight go away. It is a genuine, honest act of taking ownership for your part of the mess. Now, this right here, this is your roadmap. A real, effective apology has these 5 parts. You have to actually name what you did wrong. You have to show you're sorry for the impact it had. You've got to take full responsibility, no excuses. Offer to make it right if you can. And finally, you have to commit to changing your behavior. When you manage to hit all 5 of these, you're not just saying sorry, you're showing you're serious about rebuilding trust. So, we have our tools: active listening, I statements, and meaningful apologies. But tools are only useful if you actually take them out of the box and use them. The last step for us today is to think about how you're going to put these skills into practice. This is where learning turns into doing. And that brings us to our final thought. I want you to just take a second and really think about this question. You don't have to say it out loud. Just think. Which relationship in your life, a friend, a family member, someone in a class, could really benefit from these tools? Just pick one. And then make a little plan to try just one of these tools the next time things get a little tense. Because that, right there, is how we go from just learning about connection to actually truly building it. Thanks for being here today.